guys, welcome back to Beauty Fortified. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sue, and today the spotlight is on Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. Now, I recently acquired two more of the products from the brand, and so I wanted to sit down and do a little chatty get ready with me, and also to give you my view on the overall brand. Now, this is not supposed to be an exhaustive overview, because obviously I have tried just a few of the products, but I think that I've used enough to form an opinion. So I thought I'd let you know what I think about the brand overall. So the products that I've bought most recently, one of them is one of their bronzers. This is called Antigua. And the other product that I purchased quite recently is one of the long wear eyeshadow sticks. And then, of course, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Foundation. I have done a review on this. So if you'd like to see how I got this look and what my views are on the brand, then keep watching. So I've prepped my skin. I've got my sunscreen on, and I'm going in with the foundation. This is the Skin Longwear, and I am in the color Natural. Just going to give that a little bit of a shake. This is quite liquidy, so I do prefer to apply it with my fingers. So just taking about that much in my fingers, and I'm just going to apply it all over my face. And I really like this foundation because it's very light and it's matte. So just a little bit about my skin. I'm 50, I have fine lines, wrinkles, and quite a lot of enlarged pores and texture. And I think that's probably one of the biggest bugbears that I have for my skin is the texture. And I find that a matte foundation just kind of is more forgiving on my skin, and obviously nothing too drying. I'm just going to apply a little bit more of that. This is a very sheer coverage, so you can apply a little bit more, you can layer it, and this goes in really easily. Just gives you a very light coverage. Now, they do have a long wearing foundation, which I haven't tried yet, but I haven't read or seen very good reviews about it, so not really too keen on that. But I do see that Bobbi Brown are coming out with miniatures. So they've got a foundation. The long wear foundation is now available in 13 mils. So it's just less than half the size of the regular bottle, and it sits at around about half the price. So that's really nice. If you don't wear foundation often, you can't justify buying a full 30 mil. I think that's quite clever, and I think it's nice when high-end cosmetics do that, because it just makes the cosmetics a little bit more affordable for people who want to try them out. So I discovered that recently, and they do little miniature shimmer bricks as well, which Bobbi Brown is famous for. So that's really nice. So I got a little bit of coverage. This isn't giving me a whole lot of coverage, but it's just enough for today. I'm not going to use any concealer. I do have a few little spots, but I'm going to leave that as it is. I don't generally powder down this particular foundation, but today I think I'm going to add a little bit of my Rimmel Stay Matte, just to give a little bit more coverage, and this also helps a little bit with the texture. Just kind of minimizes the look of my pores. Not for the whole day, but just to start with. And then on to eyeshadow. So the one acquisition that I did get quite recently was the Longwear cream shadow stick. So I got it in the color taupe, and they call this the new taupe. So I think that they've revisited the color. I was quite disappointed because it's very light. You can pick that up, and it's very light on my eyelids. But I can say that this is definitely a long wearing eyeshadow. So I would be keen to try it in a couple of other shades, maybe a slightly darker shade. But this does make a really good eye base, and it just smooths out the lid, and it really does last. Just a pity it's not a great shade for me. It doesn't really show up. So I'm just going to pat that on and let that set a little bit. And then just onto a couple of other eyeshadows, powder eyeshadows from Bobbi Brown. Now, I haven't had luck with Bobbi Brown eyeshadows. The first one I got was a while ago. This is called Forest. And it's a beautiful kind of metallic green. And I do love a green eyeshadow. It's sort of green leaning towards black, if you can see that. And I fell in love with this color and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. But this doesn't stay on the lids. It probably stays on for maximum 3 hours and then it starts to crease. So didn't have a lot of luck with that one. So then I tried one of their mattes. I thought maybe it was the shimmer formula that was problematic. So I tried one of their mattes and I've got this, it's a taupey kind of grey, and this is in the color Saddle. And I thought this would be a beautiful crease color. It really is a stunning matte. I've swatched it there. And I really had high hopes for this, but unfortunately, this also doesn't stay and it kind of falls down. And the only way I can describe it is that if you put it into your crease, you'll see towards the end of the day that it kind of gathers in the crease and then there are tiny little bits that fall down. So that's a no-no for something that is quite highly priced. Which brings me on to the next thing about Bobbi Brown. I do feel that their stuff is way overpriced for what it is. So a little bit about the history. It was started by Bobbi Brown back in the 80s. She started the brand with a range of lipsticks because she was tired of all the garish bright lipsticks that were prevalent in the 80s. She wanted something more sophisticated, and the range was aimed at the older woman, say from 40 upwards. And in more recent years, the brand was sold out to Estee Lauder. Now, I don't know if it's then that it became a quality issue. I haven't, as I say, I have not tried enough of the products, but I just kind of feel it's really sort of mainstream now, and some of their products are really not fantastic. So I do feel that for what you get, they are quite overpriced. And the products that I've bought have actually been on special. So I'll talk a little bit about them when I get to them, but just in terms of the eyes. So I am going to add a little bit more color to the eyes just to give them some definition. And I'm taking a fluffy crease brush and I'm going to go in with a MAC shadow. This is the color Embark. It's quite a nice dark brown, just to give a little bit of definition, but I'm not going to put any more color onto the lid. So taking a little bit of the shadow onto my crease brush, tapping off the excess, and I'm just going to gently start at the outer corner of the crease, depositing most of the color, and then with what's left on the brush, just taking that through the crease. And I find that this one by MAC is great. It's not patchy, just gives you a lovely bit of definition. So I'm going to do the other side. So that's just given me a hint of definition in the crease, and then I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that out so that there are no harsh lines. And then for the lower lid, I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is my pencil brush from MAC, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit of the Embark shadow. I'm just going to use it on the lower lid just to give a hint of definition, tap off the excess, and then just give a little bit of definition to the lower lid. So I think that's enough. And then I am going to take a little bit more on a pencil brush, and I'm just going to deepen up the outer corner just so that it blends into the dark shadow that I've put in the crease. Just a little hint of that. And now I'm going to go on to the bronzer. Now Bobbi Brown have got a range of what they call bronzers, but they are more blushes than anything. I'm not quite sure why they marketed them as bronzers. But these are absolutely beautiful, and Of course, my latest acquisition is the one in the color Antigua. I had my eye on this for a long, long time, and then there was a 25% off deal for International Women's Day. And it's just a beautiful kind of bronzy pink. And then I do have another one of their bronzers, and this is in the color Maui, and it does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, and it is a little bit brighter. Now this one I find does not have great staying power, and the Antigua is probably not much better, but it is such a gorgeous color. It just gives you a hint of glow, and you can deepen it up if you want to as well. So I'm going to be applying it with my Bobbi Brown blush brush. Now this is an absolutely beautiful brush, and I think it is natural hair. It cost me a fortune, but it really is stunning. So just going to take a little bit of that on the brush, and then in patting motions, I'm going to start in the outer 2/3 of the cheek, and I'm just going to pat a little bit of that bronzer. And this is lovely because you can't really go too wrong. You can't really apply too much of it. So it really is a stunning color. Now, just in terms of skincare, so Bobbi Brown does have a skincare range. I've only tried a couple of products from their skincare range, and the one is the Vitamin E base. I'll put a picture of it up. And it is a fantastic product. It's really a gorgeous base for your makeup, and it's a moisturizer as well, and really beautiful. It is, again, very expensive. I've also tried a little bit of their cleansing oil, which, to be honest, can compete with anything from the drugstore. So nothing to write home about. So I've just finished up with that on my cheeks. I'm just going to put a little bit up into my hairline just to add a little bit more color there. This really is light enough that you can do that. And then just put a little bit onto my jawline. So it really does give you quite a sun-kissed glow. That's what I really love about this particular shade. Just going to put a little bit on my nose. And then, because with blush, for me, more is more, I'm going to take Maui, which is a slightly brighter pink. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on the apples. Just taking my brush, dabbing it in to the blush again, tapping off the excess. Just putting a tiny bit onto the apples, because it just gives a hint of shimmer. So I must say that I think their blushes, they do really well. Now they also have cream blush as well, and I've got a couple of those, and I find that they're really good. I do like them. So the ones that I've got one in powder pink. So this is a classic sort of neutral rosy pink brown. I'll just swatch a little bit of that. And it's quite a nice creamy formula. They do blend in quite nicely, and they do last a good amount of time. And the other one I've got is in the color Melon, and it's a beautiful sort of peachy brown shade. I'll just swatch a little bit of that next to powder pink. And it's not too peachy. It really is. Both of these shades are really quite wearable. So that's Melon there, and then powder pink on the other side. So these are really good. They're marketed as lip and cheek products. I find that they really don't work on the lips. I really haven't had any luck with them on the lips at all. So I would stick to the cheeks, and they really are good. They're a good consistency. They're great. You can just throw them in your handbag, and they do last. You get a lot of product in the container as well. I'm not quite sure how many grams this is, but you do get quite a bit of product. So I think those are definitely worth the buy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara, and I'm going in with my NYX On The Rise. I'm really enjoying this one. It's got a plastic bristle wand, and of course NYX is pulled out of the country, so unfortunately there's no more where this came from. I'm going to apply a couple of coats of this. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to go onto the lips, and don't have any Bobbi Brown lip products, unfortunately. I did try a gloss some years ago and it was very pretty, but it went off in the tube quite quickly. So I can't really talk about their lip products with any, what is the word? Any expertise. So I'm going to go in with my Clarins lip pencil. This is in Rose Nude, which has been discontinued. So just lightly defining the lips. And then I'm going in with a gloss today, and this is the Essence Shine, Shine, Shine. I bought this a couple of months ago. A really good value, 50 bucks. And it's a really juicy, luscious gloss. And I really love it for a pared down lip look. So guys, I'm just going to quickly fix my hair and I will be back. So guys, that is the finished look. So just to recap on the products that I've used, I used the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear foundation, which I really love. I really enjoy the bronzers. So I think that those are really worth a look if you're interested. They're very kind of muted shades and you can use them all over the face. I really like the cream blushes. I think that those are really good. I enjoy the Longwear cream eyeshadow stick. I think that those are worth a second look if you're interested. The powder eyeshadows I would give a big thumbs down to. And lip products I can't really comment on. I can say that their makeup brushes are absolutely excellent. So all in all, really good brand. I do feel that they are overpriced for what they are, but if you can get your hands on them at a discount, then I think it's worth trying one or two. So let me know if you've used any Bobbi Brown products, what your thoughts are overall in terms of the brand. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.